Definitely sincere apologies on that stream just dropping out. Technology, it's just being the bane of our existence here from time to time. So, Fabino did take that match, winning it 2-0. What can I say? Stand by, everybody. We're going to get another table up, or another match up on our TV table. And when that happens, we'll come back and give you the play-by-play action. Take care, everybody.
Oh, hi. How you doing? Good. How you doing? Yeah. You playing today? Yeah. Did you win? What? Who's in your group?
Name
Charlie Brown?
yeah.
Did you play him?
No. Last match.
Oh, you can't play Phil. You play at 5 o'clock? Yeah, he's in your group too. Someone right here in the blue shirt. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah. You guys come through.
6.
6. Oh, you played 6. Oh, no, that's not him. But he's in 6:30. Okay, no, not him. He's in your group though.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a pretty good group. When did you get in town? When did you get here?
Who did?
You came today?
No, it's
Yes. I played 5. I don't know who I play though.
that's the question.
Yeah.
We can do 9. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I got to the capital. Oh,
it's a new
Shoot. Kevin, there's two tables. Over here.
Nobody's even on the table.
They're sitting here forever. I don't understand.
Spend a word to the light.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
This is such a fact. Don't even know.
Se eu tivesse ele pode poder com o segundo na bola. Ele
Yeah. You guys can go on there.
Pronto. Mentiu? Levou.
It's not table over. Oh, yeah. I gotta switch that tablet.
You must change. Sempre escreve.
Oh, much better. He plays much better. He deserves to play it. Yeah, but it's okay. Leave. Just leave. Joy, that. Não vou assistir, não. Fala uma pressão, gente. Vou assistir. Não vou assistir então pra conta pressão. Olhar quando quiser. Tá bom. Essa coisa já vai bater no 5 horas aí. Não. Só pode fazer uma mãe. Não vai pegar o tempo. Então, tipo, sim.
Are you the lost and found? Are you the lost and found? Not weekly chocolates. No.
Yes. My breath too. What did we just say? We're like go together.
It's not from 6:30 lunch. Sorry. I was trying. I was still here. Good. All right. More words are little good. Maybe I see this real.
And welcome back, everybody, to the 2024 PABSA Open Snooker Championship. I did a little take a break from the booth to get some lunch in my system and rest the voice, because I was eagerly waiting to get back to enjoy this match between a well-accomplished player in Chekyun Kwan taking on Roland Tremblay. So Chekyun has won the toss and is elected to break off this best-of-3 round-robin match. This might be our last match today. We'll just see how it progresses. That's our first of last batch matches. All the 5 o'clocks are in full swing. And when they come to a conclusion, they'll be at 6:31. So we'll see how this one fares. Chekyun, definitely an accomplished player. Went deep into the Embassy Open down in Los Angeles about a month ago. It was the 2015 runner-up at the Richler Cup. As well, I believe he was the under-18 China national champion. So he's definitely picked up a cue before. And Roland, I think I've seen him. I think I saw him play way back at the 2016 Richler Cup. Obviously a local player here. Roland might be maybe one of our older players in the Open. It's David Burney in the booth. The Potter is wondering how Charlie is making out. I've just seen Charlie here and there, but if you go to cloudsnooker.com, that's cloudsnooker.com, and check out the 2024 PABSA Open Snooker Championship tab, as there's a bunch of tournaments up on that website. Click on that tab. That will get you into the tournament. You'll have the ability to see live scoring, as we have 9 tables going right now in the room. And as well, there's results, and where you should be able to find Charlie's standings in his group. I think unfortunately he might have lost his first match of the day. He looked a little deflated. But yeah, if you have any comments or questions, definitely let me know. My best to answer them, and do in fact let us know where you're tuning in from. This great game of snooker is global, played in over 100 countries. It's the PABSA Championship, so we're representing pretty much North, South, and Central America. So far it's been pretty dominated by Canada, the US, and Brazil. Oh, Roland. It was a good opportunity for him to get his game going. Just the little first frame jitters. Yeah. Came a little high for that red along the top cushion, but a saving grace, he does have a red into the left middle. Those middle pockets, they're tough. Check in who did not play in the seniors event. Some of the younger players. Wonder if any of them tuned into our broadcast, as I was quite constant about those middle pockets, as they've been spitting out a lot more balls than they've taken. Roland, is he gonna get lucky a little bit? Hoping maybe he could get behind the yellow, or maybe flick out the yellow and get behind the blue, because this red is just sitting right by the top right corner pocket. The only saving grace is Check-in just has to cue over top of the yellow. One thing the players now in the tournament are going to have to deal with is it's Wednesday night here at La Bande de Coin in Saint Lambert, there we are, Quebec. It's a pool night, so this room is going to be a bit of a buzz. Pool players have been instructed that there's a world-class tournament going on the snooker tables, so hopefully they can restrain themselves from extensive hyperactivity. Nice cue ball there for Roland. Let's put Check-in tight to the bolt cushion. Just checking with our tournament director. This may or may not be the last TV match we have today. We We do have a batch of matches, but there's a lot of other matches that are in progress and could come to a climax before this one finishes, but Chekian is a pretty strong player. But I don't think Roland's going to go quietly. Something you never know about this game of snooker. His frames can be done and dusted before you know it, but they can be real slogs. Just never know what's going to happen with the balls on the table. Sometimes we see a black ball go over a corner pocket and then it gets surrounded by reds. And that really puts a halt on a frame, or vice versa. Red balls get opened up nicely. Black is available to both corner pockets, and you see a substantial break, almost like what Levi Myler did earlier today. Had a break of 132. And actually he only had 14 reds, so that's very impressive. Roland just struggling just a little on form. Chekian hasn't been able to pounce just yet, but this might be the opportunity right here. And we will be coming back tomorrow for day 2 of the Open Championship at 9:30 a.m. It's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so 6:30 on the West Coast. Once again, those middle pockets. Well, here's a chance for Roland to go into the left middle. Nice shot there by Roland. It's pink. Definitely is a certainty into the right middle. It should be. If this pink is refused in the middle, I'm pretty much myself probably going to go out and buy a jackhammer tonight, and at least pry open the middle pockets. Just get it done with a little cannon just to stop the pace of the cue ball. Just a little squirrely on that one. Didn't really have straight cue action going through the cue ball. As we remember with our little interview with the marathon man, or the Iron Man I should say, of the senior tournament, Ernie Marsh, 88 years young, turning 89 pretty soon, the oldest competitor in a PABSA event. One thing that he struggled with was delivering the cue on a straight line into the cue ball. He started playing when he was 13. He's 88, and he still finds some difficulties with the game. That goes to show how difficult it is. And just a containing safety there by Roland. The block blocks the path of that blind cut of the red that's just to the right of the black. Chekian just waiting for El Chefe, the boss man of the CBBS, just wanting to set up a monitor or a camera to record Itero Santos's match against James Power. They're proud Brazilians of all their players. They definitely had to travel quite a distance to get here. But a lot of us Canadians and Americans traveled quite far down to Brazil last year. But everyone thoroughly enjoyed their time. Very clever by Roland. Oh, not clever enough for the crafty Chekian. Yes, I've heard this great tournament will be traveling south of Canada next year and going into America. It's looking like it's potentially in California. Well, that's just up in the air right now. Nothing is set in stone. Obviously, there's a lot of things that need to happen before that happens, but always take a look at PABSA.org. That's www.pabsa.org to find out any updates of where this great tournament will be next year. But before that, we're happy to be here in Saint-Lambert, Quebec, at the great Le Bain de Coin room. middle pockets. Crafty. Crafty, crafty. Check in just with a slim advantage, leading by 5 points, 18 to 13 in this first frame. We check in just slow to wake up. Had a successful victory today over Daniel Holoida. That's a big, big win over there. Daniel, a great player. I'm sure Daniel will rebound nicely and come back. It's a good cue ball for Roland. But check in tight. I think on first glance, check in might be like, this guy's kind of an old timer. Probably should have my way with him, but Roland's feisty. Doesn't go down quietly. And age can be deceiving. This is a nice red there by Roland. It's nicely on the black. Just needs to go a little adjustment. Yeah, just going back to that age topic. When Ernie Marsh, our old player in the senior side, is taking on Amit Karki, and Amit Karki definitely looked like he was running away with the first frame, but Ernie put him in a snooker and garnered 16 penalty points and started potting balls like you wouldn't believe and made definitely a frame of it. I think Ernie actually even did win a match. So one thing that does happen obviously with age is the eyesight does start to deteriorate. So that's one thing, one maybe advantage, but obviously, thanks to Jack Karam, the famed snooker glasses that Dennis Taylor, 1985 world champion, made popular, they're starting to become the norm. They might look a little goofy, but I think people rather be playing well, and looks really aren't a matter. So we're talking about looks. A lot of these players looking very sharp in their suits. I think the only one that's kind of really flashy might be Ernest Besmeer. We saw the Flying Dutchman. He's got that hypnotic vest. Thanks for coming back, Dennis Parton. I do apologize. That was an exciting match that Fabino was in against Francis Norman, and just the stream boom, went down just as they were on the final two balls. Good thing it was just in the round robin and not in the final. And to tell you, we were definitely scurrying like ants trying to get that stream back up just in time, because they did battle around on that pink for a bit, but then Fabino was able to put it in the pocket and get a victory. So fingers crossed. That's the last hiccup we've had technical-wise on the stream. But definitely, it's not on purpose. I'm Trying to give you all the great pictures. I don't know if I'm sounding well for you guys out there and gals. We appreciate all the viewership. You're the ones that are going to help us when we go knocking on big company ABC saying, hey, we got all these people that just love the game of snooker. Your brand is going to get great exposure, and in turn that will help us, as that will increase prize pots, attract more players, and as well help us with behind the scenes. Because everyone's doing it for a labor of love, but if we can start giving people a little bit of finance that are working tireless hours behind the scenes, it really would help the community grow a long way. Great streaming producer Lewis is here. He's just tweaking up the scoreboard a little bit better, so it's a great view for all you people at home. Right now, Chekian Kwan has a slight advantage.
Non, la 25, là, tu as donné la 23. Non, on n'était pas supposé les donner, parce que la 14, là, il y a un match. Les autres,
Nesse inverno, nesse frio, sim. Frio de caçar. Joguei duas.
Well, Chekian does have a tough cut. That red. There's 3 reds by the pink. The lower one into the right middle. But very, very tricky that shot is. Safe is a bit tricky here, as there's a lot of reds just all over the place. Just checking if that his cue ball can go past that green, maybe for the potting angle on the red into the right middle. Holland having a good long look at it.
Ah, eu acho. Não tem potência aí. Ah, então.
Was there, he just missed it by a fraction of an inch.
Bota em 100. Liga de novo.
Real harm or foul there.
Tá? Então, putz, eu não sei. Bota. Ah, mas vai ter?
Check in, gonna take this red and try and scooch behind the yellow. It's gonna be a difficult shot, definitely with the rest. But double kiss, the DDK. But on first glance, it looks like he's all right. Pink beside the red. If he makes it, it's fantastic. But if he doesn't, he's going to be leaving his opponent with an open opportunity to profit from that mistake. Now he finds his path behind the yellow. Never seen that kind of done before. Obviously, Roland acknowledged a good shot there, but he just kind of slapped the table just once. Probably slapped out of acknowledgement for a good shot, but also out of frustration, like, This is where you put me. Going to stay in there. Wasn't a hit, and Chekyan just letting Roland know that I'll take on the shot. Looks like there is a pathway. The yellow. Obviously, Chekyan's looking at that last shot when Roland missed the red. You know, is there potential to get some more points than just a 4-point foul? As probably he's thinking that Roland is going to get out of the snooker on the second attempt. Wow, that's a great shot on that red right by the black. Should nicely be able to go into the top right. Sometimes some people, they come to the table and we had the foul and the miss ruling. In the open side of the tournament, it is unlimited until snookers are required. Little caveats that we have sometimes to the actual ruling that the pros use in the amateur scene over here in the Americas. Sometimes people get in a foul in a situation and they're just like, I'm happy to collect points, go back, go back. But sometimes they're not as profitable as they think. As I think Chekyan was evaluating that situation and knew Roland was going to hit again, and that would only be 4 points to the good, where Chekyan right now has 11 points on the board and continuing to go. Just unfortunately that black has come back and really got covered up by the blue just sitting there. Well, he's got the angle on the green to go down table. Memory relapse there by Chekyan, putting the green almost on the blue spot. We hear more about when people are colorblind, not alluding that Chekyan is, but when people are colorblind, they usually have a tough time distinguishing the brown and red. I'm pretty sure some people are afflicted and made the blue and green get close together. And that's one instance where you can ask the referee if that is a red or a brown ball, but you have to prepare and deliver to the officials of the tournament the correct documentation that you are in fact colorblind. As if you weren't to do it and tried to ask that question in a match, most often than not, the referee would say, play on, and I'll let you know. So a little 15 break there by Chekyan to extend his lead to 37-15 in this first frame of a best of three. round robin match. We'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., 6:30 on the West Coast, with some more round robin matches to conclude on Friday. Oh, is ready to take a nice comfy seat in his chair, but that red just slowly found its way into the bottom of the yellow pocket. But yes, for this open tournament, the round robin concludes on Friday. We might have the first round of the knockout, as the knockout is scheduled for 24 players to start that knockout round, the 2 and 3 seeds of each group in random positions, and then they will come out of that to face the number 1 seed. So if you win your group, you get a bye for the first round, and then we move on to round 16 and quarters, semis, and into the final on Thanksgiving Sunday.
That's Brazilian.
The time for the finals might loosely be scheduled, maybe 3-4 o'clock. That's just a guesstimation. Obviously, I believe the semifinals on that day will probably commence at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then at the conclusion of the last semifinal to finish, usually is an hour, maybe an hour and a half turnaround. I believe the finals and the semifinals will be best of 7. These are best of 3, quick sprints. Big upsets can happen. Sometimes it takes a little bit for these better players to get going. As Chekyan's quite a strong player, but only amassed 37 points so far in this first frame. Roland has just kind of stymied him up a little bit. Just frustrated the young man. Yes, Dennis Parton. It is over on Sunday. However, the streams will be uploaded on the PABSA YouTube page for all to watch and repeated viewings, if so. Or if you can't make it because you might be going over to some family members or having family members over on that Thanksgiving Sunday. Let's get my mind ahead of me as it's Wednesday here and Thursday is tomorrow. Yeah, if you can't make it here live, the stream will be up there on the PABSA site, so you can head back over to it maybe when the day of turkey is done for you. Gonna play on that playing with the element of safe. It's got a really nice cue ball. Just the pink is quasi-safe. If a player is able to get a good angle on it, definitely seems like finding the left middle is going to be the option for that pink. Also, not a bad place for snookers as well. It's not tight to the cushion. It's opened a little bit to just roll in behind. Nice red into the side. So they do drop from time to time, but there's plenty of shots that we've seen in this tournament that have not gone down into those left and right middle pockets. Oh, he just can't convert on that yellow. He's inching close to the frame line. Leading by 21 and 35 on the table. Local fans cheering on their good friend Roland Tremblay. Very nice long red. This black is definitely making it interesting in this first frame.
Oh, espera só um pouquinho. Sal.
Just couldn't convert on the yellow, but a nice little break of 8 that's crawled them back into just trailing by 13 points with all the colors on. Everything's there for the taking. It's going to take some great cueing. Nothing is elementary. Nice little bounce. Just curled around to put Roland into a snooker as that brown is blocking the path for a hit on the yellow. So you're going to have to go bulk cushion first. Roland's definitely quite proficient in these mid-range shots, mid to long. Shows no fear on them. Just ran a bit too much for check-in. Wanted to get that green just staying behind the pink. Let's get him in a little sliver of hope here for Roland. Take this green into the left middle. Didn't fancy it. Just playing safe. Yeah, please said Mark Pole. Or Mark Peel. No guts, no glory. I think he's missed the trick right there. Great little shot there by Roland. Wow, this would be quite some steal here for Roland if he's able to pull this one out of the hat. Yeah, just a bang out of the table and a little bit of frustration there by Roland. Check-in still needs the pink for the frame. Roland just can't risk anything here. Definitely a veteran of the game. Has a good sense of when to defend and when to attack. Very nicely done by Chekan. And he's got the snooker as Roland comes to put that coin down. Oh, nice shot. It's just a little easier on pace. Might have found some salvation behind the black. Alas, this pink into the yellow pocket for frame one. Doesn't get it. Well, he's pushed the black in a tough position, Roland, and he does need that, so. I think the more important thing is he has put that pink safe. Check-in's going to have to take some shot to win the frame. Just got disturbed by a little bit of a cell phone, but there's a lot of things going on here now. They got pool nights happening. So it's an active room on this Wednesday night in Saint Lambert. Check-in's got a nice cue ball. He's put that tight to the top cushion. Good weight. Pink has gone by. Potting angle's not there. Short into the left middle. Well, now that black's out. And this pink can either go in the middle or the green pocket. It's tough, obviously, these middle pockets, but that's the pocket of choice here. Gives them the natural angle to come up for the black. Well, I just got a little disturbed by a player on the adjacent table just kind of walking down to take a look at the shot and didn't realize that a player was down on the shot. Oh, just missed, but oh, it just flicked off the black. Little tap of support for check-in. Just needs this pink for the first frame. There it is. So frame number 1 going the way of Chekyun Kwan, and we'll be right back with frame 2. And the Roland Tremblay set to break off for frame number 2. And that might have just rolled it just a bit. No, I think the green's going to block that path for Chekyun to take the red into the right middle. Asian Dadash. No, these are not pros. This is an amateur tournament, but they are playing for a pro card. The winner of this tournament gets a 2-year card on the World Snooker Tour. Fabinho of Brazil last night booked his place into the World Seniors Championship over in Sheffield, England, come May. So another Brazilian in that great championship. And obviously defending champion Igor Figueiredo, who won the seniors last year, won the World Senior Snooker Championship this past spring. Now there are some rumblings we've heard. Maybe someone out in the chat room can do a little fact checking. But the Brazilians are telling us there might be upwards of 500,000 tables in Brazil. Some are even saying 1 million tables. There's certainly a lot. Obviously they have over 200 million people. And we're talking about pool tables here. But they do say the 6x12s, there might be 50 to 100. Not that many. But predominantly they play on the 5x10s. So we don't even have the little tables, the 4x8s. I have some of them, but it's predominantly a 5x10 nation. And that would make sense why they're very proficient in the game of snooker. It does make quite a big difference going from 5x10 to 6x12. But sometimes the North American players are pool players, and going from 4x8 to 6x12 is a massive increase. Just wonder if Chekyun has an angle at all. Again, nicely on this red. It's got a nice pathway for pink. into either corner pocket. Oh, tough break there for Roland. Definitely just getting things going. Produce, obviously, Chekyan does have that red to the right middle that's close to the top cushion. But if he's to miss it, he's going to be in a world of trouble, as that cue ball is going to go into those reds and open them up. He was able to avoid the cannon and get the pocket. Puts up his hand and acknowledge a fluke because he's got quite a result on this brown. Good angle to come back down table. Looked like that pink was going to pass that red, so. Swap table, gotta take the yellow. What if he's got an angle on this red? The two that are left of the black, take the one that's closer to the bunch of those red, stun down, and maybe cannon into that other red just to hold position for the black. Oh, and it's not there. Again, with the shake of the head, just maybe got a little ahead of himself. And Roland not wanting to take that cue ball all the way down the table. Just a gentle shot because the red to the top right corner is a relatively elementary pot. And with the black open to both corners, the red's starting to space out. Roland is respecting his opponent there, not giving him a chance of something.
What table were you on?
Oh, quite a creative shot there. They check in. It's thinly cutting that red to come down and hopefully knocking the red that's sitting by the top right corner. However, he was unsuccessful. So maybe Roland might just play a little draw shot, or drag shot I should say, on this red. Fortunate to kiss into the red, kind of halted the pace of that thin cut. Just doesn't like the black. So tempting though, because it's there. The problem is, you miss. You're really going to let your opponent in, and just the way the balls are, and you've seen that Chekyan can pot a little bit, so it doesn't want to even give him a chance of putting together a high break and maybe even a frame winning one. Asian to Dash, yes, the U.S. National Tournament will be going on from November 22nd to 25th. It will be held at Embassy Billiards in San Gabriel, California. And if you search out Ox Billiards on YouTube, Facebook, and or Twitch TV, you should be able to find that stream. Obviously, snookerusa.com will have all the details about that great tournament. And as well, I think the women's World Snooker US Open is planning to come back to Seattle, and that might be slated for sometime early in 2025. So one thing that definitely these players have to deal with and need strongly is endurance. They're long days. Fortunate enough, with the Open tournament, we've got that extra day, so it can be spaced out nicely. It's a good idea, not burning ourselves out too much. They are long days for us people behind the scenes. Kevin Patrick doing a great job as tournament director, referee extraordinaire. My name's David Burney. I'm your commentator all weekend long, all week long. Got in last Friday. We started the seniors event on Saturday. That ran for 4 days. Climaxed yesterday with Fabinho from Brazil hoisting that title. And now the Open Championship has started today and will run up to October 13th, Thanksgiving Sunday, when the champion will be crowned. As we are in St. Lambert in the province of Quebec. So that is Canada, and that means that the Canadian Thanksgiving happens in October, about a month and a half before our friends down in the US of A have their Thanksgiving. Looks like all of our last matches of the day are in play. So with this match here, it will conclude our broadcast for the day. When it comes to a climax, obviously Roland Tremblay would like to put it to a decider, but Chekyan would like to get it done and dusted, get on with his evening a little earlier. Doesn't want to stay too late. Not sure if the young Chinese Canadian has a match early on, as we'll be starting tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Time. That's 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 on the West Coast. My apologies, Aslan. It just kind of looked like Asian, but I'm just looking at a small little chat window. But thanks for you guys tuning in, keeping the broadcast going, putting in some great ideas, great comments. Not sure if you know either of these Canadian players, but feel free to put your backing behind one of them. I'm pretty sure they'll hear you through the Ethernet. Right now it's a small 4-point lead for Roland Tremblay over at Chekyan Kwan. Make sure to hit a red that time. Things have kind of splashed out a little bit. Just taking a look at these 3 reds below the pink, but I think he's got a fancy one of these 2 reds to the left of the pink into the middle. Middle pockets. You need to hit it with a little bit of pace, that's for sure, to get the draw down to give him a chance for the pink into the opposing middle pocket. But now he's gifted a chance. Chekyan just throws his hands up. He didn't want that cannon there. Again, he's very tall and thin in stature, but his snooker playing is of top-notch ability. It's a little tough sometimes with these best of threes. Obviously, I think Chekyan's playing a little bit with house money. He's got a 1-0 advantage. Just needs one more. You see with the longer frame matches in the early stages for sure is players really like to try to go for maybe a few more shots, and if they are successful, higher breaks can happen. But that being said, Levi Myler came to the table today and put in a 1-3-2, as well as Renat Danka had a 1-1-5. So 2 centuries on day one. Four horns, and it couldn't drop in either top corner pocket. So I just go back to having that endurance. They're long days. We do their best to schedule the times. Obviously, players are aware that the first matches of the day will start right at 9:30. But then there's a roll-on, roll-off kind of philosophy. However, the benefit that the players have with this tournament, with the Cloud Snooker website, which is a fantastic device. If they're, say, you have the 9:30 matches starting up that they all know that's when it begins the day, and if you have an 11 a.m. match, feel free to just maybe while you're having your breakfast, take a look. You know, some matches might get really bogged down, and you might be maybe playing at 12, so it might delay your match an hour, or you never know, matches go by really quick, and you could get on the table. Obviously, if it's scheduled for 11, there's no penalty if you don't show up. And the tournament director would love to get you on the table earlier. Obviously, if a match had finished, just in the best interest of keeping the tournament going, as there's a lot of matches and there's not a lot of time sometimes in the day. One definitely surely thought about it. You know, I have to agree. Yeah, these are all amateurs, but they are playing for a pro ticket. Obviously, getting that pro ticket is going to hold whoever wins it in great stead, as we'll find out that it's a whole new ball game overseas. But I must admit, the one thing that's exciting about this amateur game is these players sometimes can get on a run, and it's exciting for us and for them. Sometimes they're charted in no man's land, and they put up a century, and it's just fun and great to watch. Whereas we're a little spoiled with the pro circuit, as they're just so good that we don't expect them to miss. So when they do miss, it's a big gasp into the air. But we all have to start somewhere. I don't think anyone's just, fallen into being a professional of anything. You got to put in the work, the struggles, the trials and tribulations. Ooh, Chekyan just breaks down there, and he's left a red over the right middle. Nice, good debate actually about the pro and amateur scene in the chat. Keep it up, guys. It's always good to hear. You know, we're very fortunate now with the great work that PABSA has done, as they're starting to get a few more Q Tour events in the Americas. So before that happened, you'd have to go over to the UK on your own dime. You know, spend your time over the tournament, put yourself up, play in a tournament. There's no money to be won at the tournament. All you do is qualify for that pro circuit, and then you get on, and then you've got to try and make some bucks on the pro scene. So it's a tough journey to be a professional athlete. And we're just happy that we can provide a training ground for all these players that love the game. As well with us behind the scenes, we love the game too. Always looking for some great help behind, whether it be referees, scorekeepers, commentators, tournament directors, streaming producers. You know, we're all bound to make mistakes, and that happens. We're human. Would anybody really like to watch snooker where it's robots making every shot, maybe even making all the impossible shots look easy? I don't think so. I think we tune in because they're humans. Humans make mistakes, but we like to see them achieve superhuman ability and not make those mistakes. But it happens. I don't know. It's my 2 cents. I'm just happy to be here. Happy that you're all tuning in. Happy that you all enjoy it. And we're only going to get better, as snooker obviously had a great history in Canada. Some wonderful players, obviously. The 1980 world champion Cliff Thorburn. The I believe was it 85 World Cup or 84 World Cup champion. The first time snooker ever had a World Cup, Team Canada won it, with the team comprised of that Cliff Thorburn, great Bill Werbenick and Kirk Stevens. And so we're just seeing a good regrowth in Canada. Lots of pocket surge here, and as well in America. They're growing exponentially down there. A lot of people are picking up the cue. Sure, the standard might not be there, what it's like over in England, but snooker is quite foreign. We're lucky in Canada that we're kind of part of the Commonwealth, so it's a little bit in our nature. You know, pool really took off in America. And the fortunate part about England as well, it's such a small geographical area. Like, we're covering North, Central, and South America in this tournament. So that's a lot of distance to go. A lot of players are putting in the time and money. You know, we've got a great group of Brazilians that came all the way up. That's a long way to go. Sure, there's a fair amount of people from Quebec and Ontario, which is very close travel. But our American friends had to travel far away. Myself, I came all the way from Vancouver. So you never know. Obviously, we'd love to get some more real young players in here. The majority of our players are a little bit older. They've been around the game for a long time. Just obviously the opportunities. But hopefully with these streams that we're bringing out, a lot of people and kids can get inspired. As I have to say, that was my personal introduction to snooker way back in the late 80s. When TSN, the sports network in Canada, one night just put on this program. These guys at a table, and they were hitting these red balls with colored balls, and wasn't fully sure of all the rules at the time, but my father, who knew the game of snooker, knew the basics of pretty much, you know, it's a red color philosophy, and I was kind of fascinated by it. And I really got fascinated by John Pullman, who I found out who it was later in life, who was a commentator. And I distinctly remember him making some comments on the televised broadcast of, well, he's going to need a plenty number of snookers. And I found that quite funny, as the English twang was foreign to us kids in Canada. And so I remember reciting it on the school playground the next day and winding up my friends, as we were all like, what was that Did you guys see this weird snooker thing that was on TV last night? So, giving a visual look to it, I think is going to inspire. Obviously, yeah, if we get some real great players, as we do have some great, wonderful players in this tournament, they're not of the professional standard, but they're trying to get there. But hey, these are the baby steps right here. All these players could be inspiring a future Canadian or American or Brazilian that could be a world champion. Igor Figueiredo has become a world seniors champion last year. And Aslan Dadash, you're quite right. There's no refs. That's another thing we need. Refereeing this sport is a tough job. You're on your feet all the time. Obviously, the players would love the benefit of having a referee. They'd love to have a scorekeeper. But baby steps. We all got to work together, grow the community. Is there, I believe, wasn't it the great poet or philosopher Nietzsche once said, one must learn to walk before you can run, as you cannot fly into flying. Something similar to that. So the progression is there. I apologize for that little tangent I guess I went on. Just, we're passionate about the game and we want to see it do well. And it will definitely help with your viewership as well. That's going to help us, grow the game. And it is a tough game. I'm not sure how many of our fans out there have ever put their hand on a snooker table, but this is probably the toughest of cue sports out there. You have a 6x12 table, a large area to cover. You've got balls that are 2 1/16 inch in diameter, trying to find their home into a pocket that's got an opening of probably 3 1/4 inch. But either way, we're glad you're tuned in. Do tune in. The standard definitely is going to get a lot higher over the weekend. This is round robin. It's 64 players that are in this tournament. Obviously, we've seen a break of 132 today and 115. Yesterday in the final, Fabino, who was the snooker open or the snooker champion, the senior snooker champion of this championship, put together a 103 in his quarterfinal match. So there is some ability. There are a few players, and hopefully someday we can just come to the room and everyone is of that standard, where misses are going to be so huge because we know the players are going to sit down, the opponents that is, for quite a while. And I agree, there are a lot of snooker groups out there on Facebook, and there's getting more and more accessibility to watch it. There's so many people that did love this game. I would have loved to continue to watch it, but for some reason back in the 1980s, early 90s, it just went off the air. So someone made a decision that it wasn't drawing the numbers. So sometimes it just comes down to dollars and cents. Just as the Pro Tour has a tough go about it. Everyone's like, oh, you should put a tournament here, you should put a tournament there. Oh, if we had a Canadian Open over here that brought professional players, that would do wonders for the game. That would really inspire a lot of people. But once again, it goes down to dollars and cents. These things don't happen overnight as well. You know, the United States, they're doing wonderful work down there. Mike Dominguez and his whole team at Ox Billiards, really trailblazers down there. You know, the quality of snooker in that room, maybe not the highest standard, but they definitely have passionate people that love the game and want to see it grow. And who knows, maybe someday we will find a U.S. Open on the men's side. Well, actually, I should say the professional side, as women are able to play there. But the World Women's Snooker Organization has gone to Seattle for their U.S. Open. Maybe in the future we could get a Women's Canadian Open as well, and they could have just a little tour of playing in Vancouver and Seattle. But that comes down to dollars and cents. And we all know money doesn't grow on trees, and not everybody's just going to freely give away money. Life is getting expensive now. It's true, Sean Murphy was on a little trip. He did a tour. He went to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Richmond, British Columbia, Canada, then went down the line to Seattle, Washington, USA, and finished his tour at Embassy Billiards in San Gabriel, California. So there's a lot of good people putting those tours together, getting professional players to come over. Obviously, it's a cost. Ricky Walden has come out to the Pacific West, as I joke around with my friends in Seattle. Well, Pacific Northwest, it kind of works for America, but Canada geographically, Vancouver's in the Pacific Southwest. But then when you look at the Americas, as we have the PABSA championship here, North America, it's all Pacific Northwest. Because Pacific Southwest would be down in Argentina and Chile. Judd Trump, yes, he played in the 9-ball tournament, and he made an appearance down at Ox Billiards. Luca Bracel, 2023 world champion, bought by Ox to do an exhibition there. So people are interested, they come to see, and they get inspired, because all these players are great ambassadors, have time for everybody. I've been lucky enough to be able to go over to Sheffield, the holy grail of snooker, where the World Championships is held each spring, late April, early May. And just to illustrate how great these players are, I remember taking some pictures just outside of the stage door, just as some player interaction with the fans. And we didn't know it at the time, obviously, that Kyron Wilson was going to be the world champion. But Kyron was walking into the stage door as he had a match coming up. People were hounding him for autographs and photos, and he actually just grabbed everyone's attention. He's like, hey fellas and gals, I gotta go do an interview, and then I gotta play a match. But when that's done, come back here, and I got time for all of you. And he's a man of his word. Fortunately, White has gone in for Roland there. But Kyron Wilson came back and just had time for everyone, signing autographs, hearing stories, taking pictures. So, where were we? Let's get back to this interesting round-robin match. Chakyan up by 19 points and 27 in it. No real color on its spot. He's got the snooker, it looks like, here. And he's got Roland in a bit of trouble as that cue ball's gone tight to the bulk cushion. It's one of the last places that Roland want to be. He just looks up to the heavens, hoping just for one more opportunity. This definitely looks like a great chance for Chekyan to clean up, at least put it to Snooker's required stage, and hopefully take the frame and match with it. Green was his frame ball. Ooh. The crowd goes, ooh, as we all do. It's a great brown. I think Chekyan might have stopped Roland from coming back to the table, but unfortunately when he snookered himself, he's hit the blue. That looks handshakes right there. Or is it? I couldn't tell the, yes. It's all over there, so. Chekyan Kwan continuing his winning ways. He's had a good first day here at the 2024 PABSA Open Snooker Championship. My name is David Burney. It's been great being with you all day. We're going to have to say goodnight. But don't worry, we're going to be coming back tomorrow at 9:30 for this great championship. We're at La Bande de Coin in Saint-Lambert, Quebec. If you're in the neighborhood, feel free to come on by and say hello. There's lots of great seating. There's going to be a lot of moving and shaking on day 2, obviously. And then come Friday, that's when the ground robin will come to a climax. And we'll find out who's going to be in the last 24. So we hope you enjoyed it all, everybody. We do actually as well, I think those tables are done. Just checking. I thought maybe our friend at the OBSA, Rob Richards, might be streaming the match over there, but he's obviously, that table has been done for the night. So getting down to the end of day 1, and take care, everybody. Thanks for all the viewership. Thanks for all the comments. Sorry about the little kind of rant about where we are and where we're at, but we all love the game and we want to see it grow. It's all needs to be done with positive attitude. So until tomorrow, good night, take care, and we'll see you then.